All right, welcome to Empty the Bench, episode number 57. Tom Albano here along with Nick Fodera and Nick Morgasen. Gentlemen, a lot to get into. So normally we do like little jokes and stuff. No time for jokes right now. Let's just get right into the heart of the issue.
It's not a laughing matter.
Right. Well, I know our top story is not a laughing matter, but I'm just saying, like, usually we start, but there's just so much to get through, so little time. Right now, a situation that is developing in the NFL. Obviously, COVID-19, we knew when the NFL season started that COVID-19 was going to start to affect in one way or another. It was going to be tested.
Before we go there, didn't we all call this that because they're not playing in a bubble eventually? And I think Nick actually
what we said.
I did, and I'm not going to gloat because, there's nothing to gloat about, but told you so.
Right, so a couple days ago, we see a few reports that 2 or 3 players got the virus. They closed down their facilities.
Yeah, this was the Titans and
the Vikings.
The Titans facility was closed because they had the positive cases. The Vikings facilities got closed because they were the week 3 opponent. Fortunately for the Vikings, no, they seem to have not been affected.
0.
They're 0. Vikings versus Houston tomorrow is on. It's good. The Titans, on the other hand, well, they have gotten to the point now where there's at least 8 players, multiple personnel. They are officially at outbreak level. So tomorrow's scheduled game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Postponed. Originally was supposed to be scheduled for Monday or Tuesday, but there has just been so many new positive cases over there that
scheduling nightmare. That's what I call it right now.
So the NFL, just trying to go through everything possible. The NFL announces that is going to be moved, I believe, to week 8. This is going to be considered both teams' buys. The Ravens were scheduled. I believe the Ravens were scheduled to play the Steelers in one of these weeks.
Well, they both had one had a week 4 bye, right?
No, technically both teams had a. Well, this is now going to be both teams' buys.
Right. I think originally the Ravens had a week 4 bye, if I remember correctly, right?
No, the Ravens are playing Washington this week.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah, they're playing Washington this week. So how it's going to work now is week 7 for them is going to be the Pittsburgh matchup, and week 8 is going to be the other way around. Week 7 will be their bye. Week 8 will be their Pittsburgh matchup.
I mean, are we surprised that when you're not playing in a bubble situation like the NBA, which, by the way, I have to give kudos to the NBA because they really handled this well, and Major League Baseball is now going into a bubble. Now,
and don't forget the NHL.
Right, the NHL handled it very well. They kept to their bubble situation. But look at the NFL. They were still traveling like it's a normal season for the most part.
Yeah.
They're all wearing masks on the sideline. I think I saw another fine today for the Raiders.
They did. Another $50,000 for wearing a mask.
Well, there was an ineligible person in the locker room that they got a fine for that was not part of the personnel. So that shouldn't surprise you.
He doesn't go to school here.
No, but Mr. Spider Two-Eyed Banana, I think, got a little too comfortable with his situation. But
what? His name is Jenkins. He does my taxes.
But I don't know.
Call him Squeaky.
But I don't know. How do we look at this situation? Because now we see an outbreak with the Titans. The Vikings, thank God, didn't have to deal with the situation. But now you have teams like Pittsburgh who are going to play 13 straight weeks now because of it.
Well, there's some more details we forgot, gentlemen. There's some breaking news going on right now. Earlier today, Cam Newton tested positive for the coronavirus, as did at least one member of the Kansas City Chiefs, a practice squad quarterback. So, effectively, tomorrow's Pats versus Chiefs game, guys, arguably the biggest game of this week, is now off because of COVID-19. They are looking into possibly doing this game now on Tuesday for a national audience, I would assume. However, that those details have not been finalized. So now the Pats are left wondering what the heck they're doing. The Chiefs are wondering what the heck they're doing. You got fantasy players and gamblers who are wondering what the heck is going on. Needless to say, the NFL better have its schedule makers in some sort of secluded room right now at their headquarters, and they better make an announcement before games kick off tomorrow.
By the way, if you're keeping track on your bingo card, which we're all trying to do this year in 2020, the name that you were looking for was Jordan Ta'amu, the quarterback on the practice squad.
Quarterback, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of sad. I mean, I'm sad for people who have the COVID virus and they have to deal with this whole situation. But we're getting deprived of Cam Newton and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and you know what it is? I really feel like you better hope and pray the NFL better that this doesn't happen again, because there's only so many weeks you can. Because this week is, I think, a gimme because you had a bye week anyway, so you can just shuffle it around like a Jenga, pieces.
Well, they were able to move it around. All they needed to do was move a Ravens bye around 1 week.
This was the first official bye week, right? Where because everyone played the first 3 weeks, and now this was the first official bye week.
This was supposed to be the last full week. Next week was supposed to start the byes, but now because of this, technically this is the first bye week. Now, and I know fantasy isn't exactly a priority right now, but here's what I'm thinking, because these kind of connect. You know, like there's a whole debate about whether you can put people like on IR or give them the out status should they get COVID. I mean, not should they get COVID, but like if a player on a team doesn't get COVID, but their game gets postponed because of COVID, can you put them on and everything? And right now, sort of the situation is, because like we were saying, you could easily move around the bye weeks. Like they only moved around the Ravens bye week to fix this first situation, but you have to consider something now. 8 players. If we've gone from like 2 to 8 for the Titans, that's definitely if this continues, definitely going to put their matchup with the Bills next week in jeopardy. And if that doesn't happen, then what do you do?
Plus personnel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plus personnel, by the way. Let's not forget that.
Right.
So,
I know.
We're talking like 15, 16 total, I think.
Yeah. Plus personnel. Plus, if this happens again, you're not going to have that kind of leeway.
So that was my next question to you guys. If we have another team breakout in this situation, do we have to shut the NFL?
Should possibly.
Should they? Yes.
Will they?
No.
I don't know how you can't. If we have another breakout, like another team that 7 or 8 players get the virus, you might. I don't know if you have to shut it down for good, but you might have to stop until it's under control.
Let's look at this from what the MLB's perspective. If we were to graft that, what happened this year onto what's going to happen in the NFL, you can't just have like 2 games in a row. Well,
I was just going to say, if the Titans, I was just going to say, is one possibility NFL's considering, and I hope they're not, okay, the Titans are just going to play 1 less week. They're only going to have a 15-game season.
But you can't do that. You really can't do that in a sense because the NFL, you need every game.
Season.
Right.
And you're only playing 1 time a week, 2 times if you get a Thursday game.
Well, I forgot when they put the schedule together. Didn't they build in like a week 17, week 18?
Well, week 17. You're talking about the week 18 when they try to add on another regular season game. That's not going to happen for another couple of years.
No. I thought they added a cushion this year.
So as like a safety valve?
As far as I know, no.
But I don't know.
Not as far as I can tell. But
unless just thinking out loud, the NFL decides, because of an on-the-fly issue or whatever, okay, we'll push the regular season back a week, and
but
that spare week between the conference championship and Super Bowl won't happen. We'll just go right into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but here's the problem, and what Roger Goodell doesn't understand, like most of the other commissioners, he's so greedy for the money that he doesn't care. He's just going to say, "Oh, you have COVID? Bye. We'll put somebody else in."
And that's why we're saying that they're not going to suspend. They're all the money in the league right now, and it reminds me of. You know what it reminds me of, guys? Maybe just because I'm an MMA guy, it reminds me of what the UFC was trying to do. Like, they're trying to push through it.
Yeah, but at least they had the proper testing, like, to make sure everybody was tested. In the NFL... Wait. So what I'm saying is that the NFL... They came out and said, "Oh, it's a lot of money," which I laughed at because the NFL is worth what, like 17 or 18 billion dollars?
Not more.
So how are they complaining about paying for tests every day? Like, I never understood that.
Exactly. They do have the capacity. They just don't have the willingness to implement the kind of steps that are necessary to make sure this thing doesn't happen.
They make billions of dollars in beer sponsors alone.
I mean, look at the NFL's testing protocols or safety protocols in terms of this. They're so friggin' vague. You can't really tell what exactly, if any, protocols were broken in this.
What protocols? They don't have any protocols.
Exactly, you have stumbled upon my point, my good man.
Well, I was going to ask, all these outbreaks and stuff. How are these teams getting COVID? Are these, is somebody going into the outside like they shouldn't and bringing it in?
Well, wait.
Again, we won't know because it's a violation of HIPAA rules unless they actually say something.
But wait a second. Well, how did Cam Newton's name come out? We still can't figure out how that came out. But wait, that's not my point.
Well, the Patriots announced it. That's why.
The Patriots announced it.
Oh, did they? Okay. Well, they had to get permission from him first. But what I was going to say, remember, it's not a bubble situation. It's not. So they could technically go out.
I was going to say, but again, my point, did technically a player, a personnel, somebody from the team interact with somebody and then, like in a bubble situation where they wouldn't be able to and now have brought it in?
See, what's funny is people complained about the NBA bubble, but look at the statistics. Look at the statistics. It worked. They didn't have a single positive test from the time they went in the bubble.
I'll ask you this question, Mr. Basketball, because I do need to ask. I was a little unclear. How many games did they actually have to complete in the bubble?
I think
minus the playoffs.
I think it was the last 8 to 10 regular season games, and then after that they played. Oh, actually, they played a few warm-up games to kind of get going in the bubble.
Yeah.
Then they played the last 8 to 10 games for the teams that were still able to make the playoffs. Not every team went to the bubble.
Because it's one thing we can sit here and say bubble, 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 and it's a great idea, but you can't do 14 remaining games for the other 30 teams.
Well, how about you can't do 60 games or 80 games for all 30 teams in the bubble? I mean, can you imagine
that's
that?
exactly what I'm saying.
And how many games? They played 5 games a day on 2 courts.
All right, so now one thing that I have been hearing, now that, everyone is in a little panic, a little disaster mode, we're trying to think of all the possible workarounds and everything. I was looking around on social media, and one thing that came up, guys, is the possibility. Now, we were going to have an expanded playoff anyway, but someone said that they could possibly see this being obviously we weren't around for this. We're all too young for this, but the 1982-83 season in playoffs that was shortened by a strike. They ended up only playing 9 weeks, and what happened was it moved from a 12 team. At the time, the 12 team that us three are used to, that playoff was fairly new. And what happened was they expanded it to a 16 team like we're seeing right now in Major League Baseball. Is that a possibility that we could see that in this NFL season? It only lasts 8-9 weeks. They suspend for a while, and then we have a massive playoff like we have in MLB or the NHL.
Well, remember, we have an extended playoff already now. The NFL added another wildcard team to the situation, which personally I'm not a fan of, because now that means 50% of the NFL is going to make the playoffs, and that's not how it should be, because that means you're going to get 2 or 3 bad teams that probably shouldn't even be in the playoffs now making the playoffs.
I mean, see the NBA. Well, I mean, I was just going to say, see the NBA's Eastern Conference.
Don't get me started. The team that I like, and a certain guy who said that his coach is not really the head coach, but that's neither here nor there right now.
All right, but basically, guys, I think we just sum it up as the NFL has to get its bleep together. And obviously, I know fantasy and gambling isn't a priority right now, but for the sake of them, for the sake of all the gambling people, I hope that they are in a room right now trying to figure this out and announce the plan for the Pats and Chiefs tomorrow at noon, if not early.
Well, in a funny way, and I put it out on our Twitter account at ETB Sports, that the NFL released a statement saying, "Oh, well, we'll play Monday or Tuesday." That's not a plan. That's a speculation.
Okay, once again, guys, remember how we said that it seemed like the MLB didn't have a plan and was just winging it? It seems like this is what the NFL is doing too. It is just winging it.
Basically what Roger Goodell is doing, like I've said all along. All right, it's stuck to the wall. Now let's see if it sticks.
Yep. All right, guys, speaking of MLB, quickly now let's get into the MLB playoffs. So we have our 8 teams for the division series. The division series, of course, is going to happen all in this coming week. by the time we're with you next week, the division series will already be over. We'll already be on to the LCSs. And we got some interesting matchups, guys. In the AL, we have the Yankees and the Rays. The Yankees beating the Indians 2-0. 2-0. Like, oh my goodness. After looking basically dead at the end of the season. And now you had the Yankees looking to get back to its first World Series since 2009. Its third LCS in the last 4 seasons. You got the Rays looking to get back to its World Series for the first time since 2008. The other ALDS matchup, you have the Astros, who are looking to, go from coming in 29-31 to being the Astros that they're used to. And then you have the Oakland A's.
Made us had his tour.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the Oakland A's, who, would this be the first, if they made it to the World Series, would this be the first time since they won it in 89?
You mean against the Dodgers?
They made it to the championship series, you mean?
No, to the World Series. If they made it to the World Series, would it be the first time since '89 that they?
Was that the Dodgers series?
That was A's Giants. That was the Battle of the Bay.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay.
The Earth.
Wow.
Speaking of the NL, in the NLDS, guys, the Miami Marlins beat the Chicago Cubs 2-0.
By the way, we are doing a new thing called Meme of the Day. If you go look at our Twitter account, we had a really good meme made by Tom. You want to explain what the meme was?
Steve Bartman must have been in attendance in that. They might have stuck him in.
I mean, if you're gonna slay that dragon, now's a better time. I mean,
no joke. The Marlins actually played quite well.
Oh, they did. Oh, they're absolutely impressive.
This. They went from outbreak and 40 roster moves or something like that, a ridiculous amount in one day.
They had to play every doubleheader in the book.
To being in the National League Division Series. And I have to give props to the Cardinals. I know they lost, but they made a hell of an effort against.
They did make a hell of a run.
They did the same thing. But yeah, the Padres. The Marlins, by the way, are playing the Atlanta Braves. I can't forget that. The Marlins are looking to keep their playoff streak alive, and that they haven't lost a playoff series. Of course, they haven't made the playoffs since they won it in
2003 against the Yankees.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Braves, they're looking to get back to the NLCS with their young stud team. They're looking for their first championship since 90. They're looking for their first World Series since 95, their first World Series appearance since 99.
You know what the sad part is? I actually think Miami has a chance in that series.
They might.
They do.
And we have the Padres, like I was going to say, they just won their first playoff series since 1998. And then they're playing the Dodgers, who are looking, just like the Yankees, looking to finally get over the hump.
By the way, the Padres are going to be the team of the future, like the team of the next decade.
Well, they're all in.
They scare me.
They are all in this year, and it seems like next year and maybe the year after that. They are all in.
But they have a nice young core, though, which is...
They have a fantastic young core.
They have a fantastic team, and they got more fantastic farm system players coming along the way.
And by the way, that bat flip by Fernando Tatis Jr., would you rate that higher than Jose Bautista against the Rangers, or no?
I mean, he was there. That was not he was strutting. He was strutting.
Fernando Tatis Jr., whether you love him or hate him, he's becoming the face of baseball right now.
He's definitely good for growing the game, and it really, really, really is a good team.
All right,
in terms of breaking down the matchups, I mean, we don't have a lot of time to spend on it, so let's just get to it.
All right, so just give me your predictions, guys. What is going to be your ALCS and NLCS? Let's start with the National League. Your NLCS matchup, I am going to say that I think the Marlins, the Braves and Marlins are both two very young teams. Like Nick said, I think the Marlins have a very big upset probability considering the Braves, kind of choked last year in the NLDS. But I think the inexperience, more inexperience for the Marlins, that's finally going to catch up. I'm going to say the Atlanta Braves beat them in 4 games. Padres-Dodgers, I think the Dodgers' choking ways will come back to bite them again, and I am saying the Padres in 5. I think my NLCS is going to be the Braves and the Padres.
I will say that as well. I will completely agree with that.
I'm going against the gaff. because I like the Padres. That I was going to say Padres right off the bat, just because.
So are we all in agreement? Then the Dodgers are going to choke.
Yes, because Kershaw hasn't figured out how to pitch in the playoffs, and he hasn't earned that contract. But I think the Marlins are going to make a run.
I said, I think they are the team that can pull off the biggest upset in this division series.
So yes, I have the Marlins and the Padres in the NLCS, which is going to be the oddest sounding thing if it happens.
The ALDS, guys, you're going to hate me for this, but like I was telling you guys in pre-show meetings, when I saw the Yankees how they performed against the Indians, I was not so celebratory at the end as it just was a sigh of relief.
We were all ready to jump down Aaron Boone's throat,
and the way that the Yankees have performed towards the end of the season and how they nearly blew it against Cleveland, that scares me a little. You're all going to hate me for this. I think the Yankees are going to get spanked. I'm rooting for them, but I think they're getting spanked. I'm taking the broom out. The Rays will sweep the Yankees.
Ouch.
I don't think they will get swept. I think the Rays will win in 4. I don't think they will get there, but I don't think that how the managing in the postseason has anything to do with it. I think more about how the team has performed against the Rays this year. The Rays have owned them.
Yeah, the Rays have their number, but that's why I'm saying sweep.
But that I think would have more to do with it. Although playoff time is different, so I fully am hoping that I eat my words.
Well, I was going to say, so am I. Well, I was going to take something that you said towards the end of the season, that it looked like this team, from all the players to management, had no heart. It's time to show that heart.
I think the series goes 5. Off the bat, I thought the series was going to go 5. So I think it's going to go the full way. And then I think, unfortunately, the pitching in the bullpen is going to come unloose. And I think they lose in like a 1-run game in the 5th game.
Astros and Athletics, guys. Are the Astros going to continue their success, or
no?
Or you think that this is finally happening?
Yeah. Is there a garbage can around there somewhere?
Somewhere around here, I should have something.
No, not anywhere near me. Nope.
Oh wait, I do. Okay, but yeah, the Athletics are toast. Just they have no pitching.
You mean the Athletics are toast?
What?
You said the
Astros.
I'm going Astros. The Athletics are toast, and Chapman is their third baseman is out for the rest of the year, so no offense to lead that lineup.
I think the Astros will put up a fight, like you're saying. The A's don't exactly have the pitching, but the Astros' offense hasn't been there either. So you know what? It's going to be close. I think it will go 5, but I'm going to go with the A's.
I'm going to go with the A's. The A's in 5.
All right.
I think it's the Astros in 5. Yeah.
All right. Very quickly, Nick, tell me your thoughts on this series right now with the Lakers up 2-0.
It looks silly, though, because if people looked on our account, I made a prediction that this was before all the injuries. Let me make this clear, okay? There were no injuries. The team was on a high. I picked Miami to win in 7 games.
But you're still going against big playoff LeBron.
But if you looked at Miami, their momentum was high.
Oh, they have momentum, absolutely. But they don't have the experience like LeBron has in the finals. They don't have the skills that LeBron, AD have. Like it seemed to me like it was all Lakers.
And just to make it worse, Malika Andrews just put out that Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic are listed as doubtful for Game 3. So
can we say that this series is over? The Lakers will win in a sweep.
Yeah, this is going to be a sweep. Unfortunately, because I actually was happy for Miami because they were playing well and Jimmy Butler finally found a home.
I was happy for Butler and Spoelstra, but not going to happen now.
But the sad part is, unfortunately, and don't bring out the Skip Bayless jokes, but unfortunately, I don't think this is a fully perfectly won championship.
Well, it never really is, considering that it is the bubble situation. And speaking of, very quickly, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning on a masterful performance in the bubble. And finally getting over, getting embarrassed last year when they were the top team or whatever, and they got.
I was going to say, weren't they the best team last year?
They were the top team, and they got swept in the first round. But they got over that. They have a Stanley Cup. Congratulations to Rangers alumnus Ryan McDonough and Kevin Shattenkirk winning their Stanley Cup. But for the Rangers, the big story around the NHL, it is officially the dawn of a new day. The Rangers agreeing to trade first Marc Staal and a second-round pick to the Detroit Red Wings for future considerations. And then we got the bomb during, I believe, during game number 2 of the wild card series between the Yankees and the Indians.
You were all over it. I'll say that much.
And Henrik Lundqvist have finally, in shocking fashion, agreed to a buyout with the last year of Lundqvist's contract. He is now a free agent. This will be the first time in 15 years that the Rangers are without Henrik Lundqvist in their starting goal position.
Well, you know what it is? I won't say it's shocking. I kind of figured this was going to happen.
I'm saying shocking, not that the Rangers didn't want it to happen. We had heard the calls since a couple of years ago, but in that Lundqvist had a no movement clause. It seemed like he did not want to leave that team. But
he didn't.
I'd say, but maybe he has the chance to go somewhere else and win a cup, but nobody is considering him a starting goalie anymore. If there was a team, that has a cup possibility again, like the Lightning or the Stars or the Vegas Golden Knights, do you think he would take, a backup role for the chance to get one last chance to get a cup? Or do you think Lundqvist is somebody who would want to start and would rather just retire?
We've seen this before.
I really don't know.
We've seen this in all sports. Come on, are we really going to play dumb to the fact that a veteran will go on a team? Look at Miami when Ray Allen went to the Heat, or when he went to the Celtics and he won a couple championships. Or I'll give you another one, Robert Horry, who's on the Lakers and the Spurs and has 7 championships.
Well, yeah, but Lundqvist is a guy who's always wanted to play. That's the thing.
He is. No matter what, I will say that he is the greatest. He's the greatest Ranger since Messier and the greatest goalie they've ever had. So really,
over Richter. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Richter would be 2, and Lundqvist would be 1. And Henrik, I'm so sorry we couldn't get you the cup, but I'm happy we at least got you the chance to win one. With a conference title in 14. And thank you for all the great memories.
He's out from under the clutches of James Dolan. Maybe that's the consolation.
That's all we're celebrating.
He's free. Fly!
It is the dawn of a new day. All right, gentlemen, very quickly here.
I have breaking news, brother.
Oh, no.
What?
So Jason Wild, if that's how you say his name, from ESPN Wisconsin, put out a tweet about 20 minutes ago that said, with the NFL postponing 2 games, Brown County, Wisconsin, which I think is the county government of Wisconsin, is declaring a health emergency in the city of Green Bay, becoming the number 1 COVID hotspot in the country. So,
and with the Packers playing in Green Bay, that is going to be gentlemen, we may have an issue here.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because I thought that was interesting, considering that just dropped. All right, let's get back to the predictions while we're at it.
I'm just going to say this, Roger. You better have your guys in that secluded room right now.
Make sure they're in their hotel rooms.
I'm not saying that the players. I'm saying you better have your staff in there figuring out what the hell you're going to do.
Not much at this point.
And you better give us some sort of announcement, especially with the Pats Chiefs, by tomorrow before games kick off, please. Yeah. But anyways, we have 2 games to talk about, but let's get into them. Colts, Bears, who you got?
Oh, God.
I'm going with the Colts.
Remember, guys, the Bears now officially going to be led by Nick Foles.
Oh, wait, there's no more Mitch? Oh,
no, Mitch is benched.
Oh, man.
I am going to go Colts as well, and Bears, well... how does it feel that you passed on Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes? How does it feel?
Yeah,
the Bears are toast. The Colts are winning.
Well, considering Mitch owns my immortal soul, I think I'm actually feeling pretty good about myself. Thank you for asking.
The Saints and the Lions. No Michael Thomas still, and I know Drew Brees can't throw for much, but Galvin Kamara is going to go run all over the Lions defense.
Saints.
Cardinals at the Panthers. Let's see. I think we're going to hear the phrase Murray to Hopkins over and over and over again in this one.
And no McCaffrey.
Well, Hopkins is questionable though, but I'm fairly certain he will play. And yeah, again, Murray to Hopkins, cards. Jaguars at the Bengals. Let's see. Do I pick crap or do I pick crap? I'm going to go with the crap that has James Robinson and Gardner Minshew pulling off surprise performances. I'm going with the Jags.
Wait a minute. This is 0-2-1 versus 1-2. Oy.
And the Jags are going to go 2-2. Imagine saying that at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jags.
Wait, Gardner Minshew actually is going to win a game? Yes, the Jags.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
The mustache believes in you.
I'm so sorry, Joe Burrow. I'm so sorry that you can't win a game with that team of yours. Oh, speaking of crap, Rams and Cowboys. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the Cowboys, but they have not looked at their best. The Browns are somehow 2-1. If the Cowboys lose to the Browns, there are going to be a lot of questions about that team.
Is it sad that the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys are tied for first in the division with 1-2 records?
Yes.
Oh, that's sad.
Again, I'm saying, the Cowboys are going. I think the Cowboys are going to win easily, but if they somehow don't, there are going to be a lot of questions about that team.
No, it's not could. It should. It's not could. It should.
I'm gonna go. Who are you guys going with?
Cowboys.
That's what I mean. Should Cowboys
should win? But they only got their one win because Atlanta is the biggest choke artist in this league. Seahawks and Dolphins.
Oh, more fun.
Spanking
Seahawks.
The Seahawks will spank the Dolphins.
The current MVP of the NFL and Russell Wilson, Seahawks.
Yeah, no Fitzmagic in this one. Chargers and the Bucs.
I like this one. I was
going to say, young versus old. Rookie Justin Herbert against the aged-old veteran Tom Brady. I'm going to go with the Bucs, though. I know they're without Godwin and Fournette, but
there's some injuries, yeah.
But I think the Bucs are still the better team.
I am going to go with the Bucs. Yes.
I'm going Chargers just because I think the Bucs are a little bit unhealthy, and their running situation's a little bit questionable. And we've seen, even though Mike Evans has been playing, he's been a little bit unhealthy. So I think the Chargers pull up an upset.
Hey guys, here's an easy one. Here's a layup. Baltimore.
Do we really need to say it?
No, Baltimore. And now we're going to go on the Vikings and Texans. Guys, the loser of this game is going to be 0-4.
What did I say? What did I say last week? Do you remember what I said last week? I said if the Texans go 0-4, they're dead.
Well,
you're not already dead. This is basically like watching two headless crash test dummies.
Well, no, because we've seen teams recover from 0-3. If you're 0-4, you're dead.
Well, that's the thing. Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson, he's still Deshaun Watson, even though he doesn't have his big target anymore. David Johnson's been a little surprising of good nature of late. I haven't really seen much from the Vikings. I need to see faith, so I'm going to go Texans.
I'm going to go Texans as well because I have faith in Deshaun Watson. I have none of that.
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
I hate to say this, Nick, but the Texans are going to win, and they're playing with a quarterback that doesn't care if he's dead. So,
speaking of another team that's dead.
Oh God!
Guys, obviously the pick is the Rams, but
all right, folks, say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rams. What's the line? Do you have a line for me on this one?
I'll look it up. But guys, that means the Rams are going to be 3-1. Remember at the start of the season we were like, but they lost a lot of their parts. They look like they're going to be a rebuild, and now they're going to be 3-1.
Well, when you play the Giants, that's definitely a schedule buffer.
The line on this game is the
13-point favorite.
Yes. Yeah, 13 points.
That's a big spread. That's a really big spread, but they'll win. We all know that.
Bills and the Raiders.
Ooh, Bills.
I'm going to say Bills, not to disrespect the Raiders, but that Josh Allen is just so hot right now. It's not even
funny. I really wish he wasn't such a racist.
Wait, what? Wait. What did I miss there?
You're talking about? Oh, I think he's talking about the some stuff that broke out before the draft in 2018.
Oh, that. By the way, I am picking the Bills.
Okay, week 4. Hey, look, it's injury. This game should be played at a hospital.
By the way,
it's a Sunday night matchup.
I'm tired of this BS. The Eagles should be 0-3. I don't count ties.
This is the Sunday night matchup, people.
It is the return of Nick Mullins because I have zero faith in Carson Wentz to actually get. But I do think we're in for a surprise. I think we're going to see Jalen Hurts.
I was just going to say, I'll give my hot take. 49ers win this game, and the Eagles announce that Carson Wentz will be benched, and we will see Jalen Hurts.
Yes, the Eagles will be 0-4 in technicality.
Just like the Giants last week, the Eagles will be embarrassed by the 49ers C team.
Please tell me.
Stuck with us. Stuck with us.
Wait a minute. Please tell me everybody doesn't count ties. Like, I'm tired of that. Like, if no one wins, they should just both get losses.
Nope, I don't count them and I don't wear them. So, yeah.
Monday night matchup, Falcons-Packers.
Packers?
Russell Gage is expected to play, but Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley both questionable.
Dead. Packers.
I'd say Falcons to dead. Packers, even though, well, let's hope they actually get this matchup after that announcement we got just before. And gentlemen, let's hear your Week 5 Thursday prediction. Bucs and Bears.
God.
It's the possible Super Bowl revenge game. It's Brady versus Foles.
Of course it is. Bucs.
All right.
Fuck?
And that's going to do it for us. Oh, we can't forget also, you mentioned our memes of late, Nick. Well, as I plug our Twitter at ETB Sports, let's not forget Thursday night, the Jets getting absolutely embarrassed by the Broncos by a third-string quarterback, and somehow Adam Gase is still leading this team.
By the way, just to go over some of the numbers so people can understand this, the meme that you put, the expression you make when you lose to a third-string quarterback, that one got, it's still climbing, 2,365 impressions and 334 total engagements. So, I don't know. What do you think today's meme is going to entail? You don't have to tell them what it is. What do you think today's meme is going to be for today?
I don't know. Because you can't really make light of this NFL situation. I mean,
wait, we could do a Roger Goodell tweet generator.
Maybe you can make fun of Roger Goodell.
Well, I found you that tweet generator, so now you can make tweets about anybody.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Save it for a surprise.
I think all I'll say is I think it should be a Roger Goodell meme today.
I agree. I'm not gonna. What I'm not gonna do what the Red Hot Chili Peppers do and give it away. Give it away now. Well, I'm going to give away the show because that's it for this episode of Empty the Bench. So make sure you like us on, make sure to give us a follow at ETB Sports on Twitter. Make sure to give us a like here on Facebook. Make sure to hit that follow button so you get those announcements of when we're going live. And that's going to do it for us. Nick Morgasen, Nick Fodera, I'm Tom Albano. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.